And that's why Grover Norquist of Americans for Tax Reform says there are reasons to choose Donald over Hillary. Like what?
Well, taxes are one of the ones where they have the clearest
and what your
track
group
record
specializes in.
Yes, we ask everyone to make a commitment not to raise taxes. Hillary Clinton, in this campaign, has said she wants to raise $1 trillion in taxes that she's been clear about. She wants to take away many of your personal deductions, $350 billion. Many of business deductions and credits, raising business taxes, $275 billion, and $400 to $500 billion in taxing rich people, whatever she defines as rich. It's over $1 trillion. Then she's got others. She wants 6 different kinds of capital gains. Doesn't tell us how much that will raise taxes, but it'll certainly make life more difficult. An exit tax for people like they used to have in Rhodesia, for people who try and leave, you have to pay a tax.
I hadn't heard about that.
On the way out. Yes, exit tax. So she's been, and a tax on stock trades, okay, so that everybody will buy and sell their stock in London or Singapore, not New York. These are the 6 big ones she's talked about. She hasn't been as clever as her husband or Obama. They said all during the campaign, only going to tax rich people. She has already broken down when they said, what about taxing poor people who buy soda pop, $4 for a case of soda pop in tax in Philadelphia? Great idea. She was for that. When her opponent was suggesting he would have a tax on wages, Bernie Sanders, she said she'd sign that too. So Social Security taxes, wage taxes for all people, that's available. So all of these taxes...
She's being honest. Maybe it's refreshing compared to the guys who say they won't and then try to.
Oh, I think she is. She's being entirely honest. There isn't a tax that she's ever run up against that she wasn't for. Her husband said only rich people, except he taxed people who buy gasoline. And the first tax that Obama put in 16 days after he became president was on cigarette smokers, average income $40,000 a year, plus the 7 taxes in Obamacare that directly hit the middle class, plus the gasoline or energy tax that he wants to put on everybody. So when politicians say they want to tax the rich, they haven't finished the sentence. I want to tax the rich first, then you.
Hillary was once asked if she supported a 25% sales tax on guns.
I'm all for that. I just don't know what else we're going to do to try to figure out how to get some handle on this violence.
25%.
The gun costs $400 to start with. It would be $500 when Hillary...
I hadn't seen this clip before. You told us about it. You dug this out somewhere.
Yes, it was testimony in 1993. She's First Lady. She's being asked by then Senator Bradley from New Jersey, and she specifically asked, is it your opinion? And she specifically said, this is my opinion, not the administration's opinion. The White House put out a statement. That was her. So this is where she is. We've actually put together a website, hightaxhillary.com. So all of the taxes, that video, all of the statements she's made on where she wants to raise taxes, hightaxhillary.com. You can keep track as the campaign goes on.
But why are you higher on Trump? We don't know what he would do, and he's promised to make the military bigger. He won't cut entitlements, so it sounds like more spending. And increased spending is a form of a tax.
Right. The true cost of government is spending, whether you borrow the money or take it in taxes. We had 17 Republicans running in this last election, and they all had very good tax reforms moving in the right direction. Trump was actually more aggressive in a couple of ways. His 15% business tax, it's 15% on business income. We've been at the corporate level charging 35% federal plus an average of 4% state, so 39.
And companies hide their money overseas.
Well, if they earn it overseas and want to bring it back, we tax it. We punish them for bringing it back.
So they keep it overseas.
So they keep it overseas and build factories. Well, you know, it's just, we damage ourselves when we do that.
We supply-siders believe that
yes.
the economy will grow faster with lower taxes. But you know, why would we believe? First, why believe Trump? And with lower tax rates, if they ever happen, would the money even roll in? Because you could say under Bush, they cut, revenue increased 4%. But Clinton increased taxes and revenue went up 43%.
What? 2 things happened. Clinton did us a favor. He elected a Republican House and Senate. The advantage that we have if Trump is the president is that he will sit across the table from Paul Ryan, who's a Jack Kemp supply-sider, and Mitch McConnell, who's a Ronald Reagan tax cutter. And neither of them are going to say, let's raise taxes from what you put forward. They may move it around a bit, but if he puts his tax plan on the table, something very close to it will be able to pass the House, the Senate, and be signed into law.
And you believe Trump, though once he said, I want a 14% one-time tax on rich people.
Well, several things. He has said a number of things on tariffs, taxes in the past. Since he's focused on running for president, he's been pretty consistent on the direction he wants to go on taxes. And again, nothing gets done without the Republican House and the Republican Senate agreeing. And most Republicans, about 90+%, have signed the Taxpayer Protection Pledge. They wouldn't raise taxes for Obama with the entire establishment pressuring them to do so.
The Taxpayer Protection Pledge, which is something your group created, and now almost all the Republicans promise not to raise taxes.
They've
signed the form.
They sign it, they keep it, and we haven't had a net tax pass since 90.
Because you go after them if they don't follow it.
We speak cheerfully to them and suggest that they not raise taxes. Look, the good news is they don't want to raise taxes. When you sign the pledge, it strengthens their backbone because they can say to the special interest, I'd love to help you, can't do it, sorry.
All right, let's go to our Liberty meter. Why don't you rank Hillary Clinton first, 1 to 5 on taxes?
Is 1 the lowest?
Yes.
-1. She is a consistent tax increaser. She is not
We can't get the negative on the machine.
You can? Okay.
And Trump, how would you?
I would say 4 only because when he talks about tariffs sometimes, tariffs are taxes. In American history, we sort of had a Revolutionary War on the subject. It was part of the conversation when they were shooting each other in the Civil War. He's moving in the right direction, and working with the House and Senate, the final product will be a 5.
Boy, I hope you're right. I'm skeptical. Thank you, Grover Norquist.